Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. Briefly mention the alignment of major mountain ranges of the world and explain their impact on local weather conditions with examples. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. A mountain range is a series of mountains ranged in a line and connected by high ground with similarities in form, structure, and alignment. The major mountain ranges of the world are the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, the Rockies, and the Atlas. The main body of the answer should be the alignment of these ranges and their impact on local weather conditions can be stated as the Himalayas. The Himalayas are one of the youngest mountain ranges on the planet. The Himalayas extend 2,500 kilometers from west to east. The range affects air and water circulation systems, impacting the weather conditions in the region. They protect the Indian subcontinent from the frigid, dry winds blowing from the Tibetan Plateau. It acts as a barrier for monsoon winds, causing rainfall in India. The Alps. It is the highest mountain range system of Europe, stretching 1,200 kilometers from west to east, across 8 alpine countries. The altitude and size of the range affect the climate in Europe. In the mountains, precipitation levels vary greatly and climatic conditions consist of distinct zones. The Alps influence the presence and direction of local winds like Foehn, Mistral, etc. The Rockies. The Rockies extend from the northernmost part of British Columbia to New Mexico in the southwestern United States. It captures the moisture-laden winds from the Pacific and causes ample rainfall on its windward side. Its size and local play important role in the formation of warm Chinook winds. Conclusion of the answer is mountain areas cover 26.5% of the world's total continental land surface and are particularly important for their biodiversity, environmental, cultural, scientific, and spiritual values. Question number 2. Besides the welfare schemes, India needs deft management of inflation and unemployment to serve the poor and the underprivileged sections of the society. Discuss. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Being a welfare state, India promotes the idea of economic and social justice through preamble and articles of DPSC. For completing this goal, government has launched various welfare schemes such as Magnarega, Mudra Loan Scheme, PM Jai Scheme, etc. The main body of the answer should be need of welfare scheme. Number 1. Without state help, some section of society will have to face many disadvantages and will not be able to avail fair and equal life choices. Number 2. The objective of inclusive growth will remain unfulfilled. Number 3. Protect the poor and disadvantaged and equip the labor force in the lower rungs of the skill economic welfare, thus enabling them to better participate in the process of accelerating economic growth. Number 4. Vulnerable sections will always be at a disadvantage, which will lead to lower quality of life and choices enjoyed by them, which will lead to resentment and friction in the society. Number 5. Why India needs deft management of inflation and unemployment? Number 6. According to Oxfam India's report, unemployment rate in rural India nearly doubled immediately after the COVID lockdown. It went up to 7.91% in December 2021 from 6.3% in 2018 to 2019. Number 7. Unemployment is more in the urban areas as compared to the rural areas. Number 8. Unemployment among women is higher than men, both in urban as well as rural areas. Number 9. Inflation is also soaring and leading to the various disbalances in the society such as Number 10. Poor families are not able to spend more money on nutrition, education, etc. Number 11. Fertilizer and diesel became so expensive that many sections of society are not able to sustain. Number 12. High inflation changes consumer behavior, such as if prices are rising fast, it makes sense to buy things today rather than wait for. Number 13. Increasing inflation also hampers human development indexes. Number 14. Higher inflation only going to make is vicious cycle by deterring the investment and as a result development and unemployment. Conclusion of the answer is, thus, welfare schemes are necessary to create an equitable and welfare state and for achieving the sustainable development goal, but at the same time a check on it need to be there. Question number 3. Distinguish between capital budget and revenue budget. Explain the components of both these budgets. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. The revenue budget consists of the revenue receipts of the government and the expenditure met from these revenues. Number 1. Revenue receipts are receipts which do not have a direct impact on the assets and liabilities of the government. It consists of the money earned by the government through tax and non-tax sources. Number 2. Revenue expenditure is the expenditure by the government which does not impact its assets or liabilities. This includes salaries, interest payments, pension, etc. The main body of the answer should be: the capital budget consists of capital receipts and payments. Number 1. Capital receipts indicate the receipts which lead to a decrease in assets or an increase in liabilities of the government. It consists of the money earned by selling assets and the money received in the form of borrowings or repayment of loans by states. Number 2. Capital payments consist of capital expenditure on the acquisition of assets like land, buildings, machinery, and equipment, loans and advances granted by the central government.